Dancer Against Cancer has always been an organization that's always been so supportive of me and my dance journey. And so with anything that I do, I just always want to include you guys because it feels like a family. Also, it's just an incredible organization, and I know that my studios that I work for would love to be a part of DAC in any sort. To have that exposure for them and to see what you guys really do at our event is so nice. You guys are helping so many kids in need, not just kids, but anyone, to be able to have that at our event and be able to promote that and really just have everyone be there, kind of flood in more people to DAC has always been a goal of mine, just because I've loved working with you guys since I was an itty-bitty child. I know that a lot of the studios that I work with, even if they don't attend CAR events, they love what DAC does and they want to be a part of it, and sometimes they just don't know how. And so when they come to Fall 5, we had like a bunch of studio owners there, and getting to have them see what you guys really do like firsthand and be able to talk to you and everything like that, it's just such an incredible experience. So it's kind of a nice collab, like just a good collab.
Yes.
And so I think that is why we always want you guys at Fall 5, because not only does it just help spread a beautiful message, but it also is really awesome networking.
So this was not your first year doing Fall 5. I know you've had a couple seasons under your belt, but take me back to the vision and the creation that you had in starting this intensive.
Honestly, we don't even count year one. Year one was super brutal, and it's my fault. But basically, we just wanted to put on an intensive first year, and it was way bigger than we expected. It was basically just for my partner and I to do for our students before the holidays kicked in. And then we kind of sat back after that first event, and we were like, wow, that was really awesome, and it was really fun. And we kind of regrouped and said, why are we doing this? Should we continue doing this? And if we did, how can we make it even more amazing for the kids? And how can we be better every year? So I would say we honestly consider our second year our first year, because it was like the first year it was legit. And we strive to give dancers more of a one-on-one experience with the industry's best choreographers. And that's, I feel like, what we have achieved the past 2 years, and it's been really nice. And every year it gets a little bit better and a little bit sweeter, and we learn a lot more. And it's definitely a learning curve for sure. And yeah, I think it was just about giving kids more of an intimate experience, and to be in a room where you feel seen at all times in every single class is really important, and something that I wanted to give my own students, and that is why we continue to do Fall 5.
And I know as far as Fall 5 goes, you have a lot of styles that you offer. Can you talk about kind of your focus in providing that to students and how you go about choosing that faculty?
Yeah, every year we rotate faculty, or we try to. We always keep a few of us, but we really wanted it to be, it started off as one day. So it started off as 1 day, 5 classes, 5 styles. And now we do 2 days, so 10 teachers total, 5 different styles each day, 5 classes each day. And so we really just want to expose dancers to as many styles in dance as possible, with also keeping in mind what they're actually going to retain and use in their competition convention life as well as industry. I believe we got rid of improv this year, and we replaced it with musical theater, which was really cool, and I love that. And I don't know if we will do that next year. We might shift ballroom next year. We might do things that are a little bit different. But every year we try to choose styles that we feel are very relevant in the industry and also competition and convention world. And so that is why we tend to rotate faculty and also rotate styles.
And then coming from your dance background, you're very contemporary, lyrical, technically trained. Obviously, you have the tap under your belt as well. How would you say you've seen your students grow that you have had come back year after year to Fall 5 and their styles and their education?
I think every year with our reoccurring students at Fall 5, I think that they just get more comfortable and more confident with the styles that they are not normally exposed to, which is really cool. And because I grew up with such a technical background, I know that my students who I train weekly who do attend Fall 5 are going to be a little bit more, I would say, less excited for those styles that they're not so trained in. But then as soon as Fall 5 ends, they're like, that was my favorite class, always. And I think that's really cool. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. But
Yeah. And then as far as, obviously you, Ethan, you have an incredible team of support producing this event. What is it like coming from a dancer's perspective of you just show up to the event and everything's set up and you just go out and do your thing versus like from the beginning coordinating everything?
Oh yeah, it's a lot. I could never do it without Ethan. Ethan's my partner for those who don't know. And we've been doing Fall 5 together since year 1. He kind of handles all of the stuff I don't want to do, which is really great. He handles all the admin stuff, and then I handle all of the creative, like more creative side of it. So anything on social media, all of our hires, our faculty, that kind of stuff. And he does all of the hard stuff, I would say.
Yes.
I just look pretty doing it. No, I'm just kidding. But the week before is always the most stressful, if I'm being completely honest, because we never end up getting subs. So we are doing everything for Fall 5 on top of our normal work schedule, which was really brutal this year, just because our work schedule is so crazy. And I feel like we tried to be as organized as possible, and I feel like we found a formula last year that we liked. And then this year we kind of perfected it, and we'll probably keep that. So I think this year was probably our hardest year organizational-wise, like, because we just had to figure that out. And now that we have like it down to a science, I think it actually be more simple. But the load in and load out was rough. It was really rough. Ethan drives a truck, and I don't want to drive trucks. I'm scared. And it had like a bunch of tables and chairs and everything that we needed, like literally packed to the brim. And so I like had to call my friend Gino, and he helped us because Ethan was out of town that day. So the day before Fall 5, we were just doing all the load-in, and it was just basically me and my assistant Brooklyn, and then Gino came in clutch
Love it.
to help us load in. And then that was crazy. I don't like picture me in a truck. It's a little scary.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the day of the event, we normally get there about 2.5 hours before everyone else, just to set it up and to make sure that everything looks nice. It definitely is a lot more work than I originally thought, but it's my favorite part of the event, if I'm being completely honest. Like that lead up that day before is always so fun because we get together with our friends and we get to have like a party as we're doing everything. I think we had like our whole house was full of friends like helping us with the welcome packages and stuff like that. So it is stressful, but it has always been so lighthearted and so fun. So
Love it.
Yeah.
And then obviously we partnered together for not just last year, but this year as well. So we officially sponsored the event, and you were able to do a raffle and get donations. We sold merch. Talk a little bit about why you wanted to partner with Dancers Against Cancer and kind of your history with the organization.
Well, Dancer Against Cancer has always been an organization that's always been so supportive of me and my dance journey. And so with anything that I do, I just always want to include you guys because it feels like a family. And also, it's just an incredible organization. And I know that my studios that I work for would love to be a part of DAC in any sort. And so to have that exposure for them and to see what you guys really do at our event is so nice. And on top of that, you guys are helping so many kids in need, not just kids, but anyone, any dancers in need. And so to be able to have that at our event and be able to promote that and really just have everyone be there and kind of flood in more people to DAC has always been a goal of mine, just because I've loved working with you guys since I was an itty-bitty child. And yeah, also like I know that a lot of the studios that I work with, even if they don't attend CAR events, they love what DAC does and they want to be a part of it, and sometimes they just don't know how. And so when they come to Fall 5, we had like a bunch of studio owners there, and getting to have them see what you guys really do like firsthand and be able to talk to you and everything like that, it's just such an incredible experience. So it's kind of a nice collab, like just a good collab.
Yes.
And so I think that is why we always want you guys at Fall 5, because not only does it just help spread a beautiful message, but it also is really awesome networking. So
yeah, no, we love it. It's always really cool because you have, obviously you teach at studios across across the state, but you have kids that have never taken your classes before coming in, and they're coming in independently, and like you said, studio directors as well, and maybe they've heard about DAC, but they don't really know how to get involved or what that consists of. So you giving us that opportunity to get that FaceTime with them, and obviously just sharing the message with your dancers. I know you're huge about promoting a healthy and supportive environment. Exactly. Yeah. So we definitely align, and raising good humans is important to us within this industry.
I think it's just I think it's so important to give back. And I think dance sometimes is really dark and really heavy, and it can be a really competitive and cutthroat environment. And Fall 5 is supposed to be an environment that pushes people, but it is supposed to be a positive environment. So to have DAC with us and sponsor us just kind of sets that on fire. Feels like the wrong words to say, but I think that you understand what I'm trying to get at. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's just nice to have like such a positive and awesome organization behind us that can really spread the word to those kids and make sure that they know that this is supposed to be a positive and healthy environment, and also an environment that can help people in need.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then obviously we helped support, but you had some other sponsors as well. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about kind of choosing who you want to work with. I know you work with Blake a lot. So just talk about kind of how it has been inspiring to you to work with these different choreographers that you've looked up to for so long, and now they're supporting your event.
Oh, yeah. Every year is really different, with scholarships especially. I tend to reach out to people that I either have loved working for, or would like to work for, or just think they have an amazing event that I would love to have our students be able to have the opportunity to go to. So this year we had quite a few. We had Blake McGrath's mentorship program and his convention Feel the Funk, which I work on his mentorship program, which is awesome. It's so cool, and I love Blake. I've known Blake forever. He used to do my solos when I was younger, and he's just such an icon to so many. So to have him be able to sponsor those scholarships and donate those to us was really awesome. And I think the kids, the ones who got awarded those scholarships, are going to be so lucky and have so much fun. I haven't been to Feel the Funk yet, but the lineup looks incredible, and I think it's going to be an amazing time. And the mentorship program, I mean, there's so many levels to the mentorship program that is why it's so special. It's for literally every age. It's not just for, beginners or intermediate or advanced dancers or professional dancers. He has everything. And I've gotten the chance to teach on it. I believe I've taught twice now. Everything's on Zoom, and it's really great. It's really awesome. And then we had, of course, you guys as well. So we had car convention and car competition and Hollywood Dance Experience, which I've taught at Hollywood Dance Experience for 3 years?
Yeah, I think almost every single one we've had, maybe aside from one. Yeah,
I think I've been at quite a few of them, and it's my favorite summer event that I do. I look forward to it every year. It's one of my favorite events that it puts on. It's really incredible. If you haven't been, you should go. I tell all of my students every time I teach. I feel like this past year was like my favorite year, and so I was so excited for those scholarships, and for and for the people who won those scholarships to attend this year, because I've been raving about it, and it is just an incredible event. Our last scholarship was WCE this year, which was really exciting. I worked for them this past summer, and that was insane. I did not know what I was getting myself into, I guess, and that room and that energy was incredible. So I think anyone that gets to go to WC is so lucky, and to kind of bridge that gap of industry dancers, dance team dancers, comp and convention in one is so nice. And that's why when we were kind of picking who we would like to donate scholarships to, we wanted to make sure it was very strategic in the sense that it was a scholarship for every single kid and every single one of their likings. Because I think once kids get past a certain age, they are very dance team heavy, and they kind of lose their fire for comp and convention. Yep, I just knocked that, which isn't awesome. So we kind of want to give them a facility that kind of reminds them that everything is awesome, and that they also can go to those and also come back and still belong. So WCE donating the scholarships was so awesome and lovely, and I loved working with them this past summer, and I believe I'm working for them again. And
did you know that we donated to Ashley, their owner, Ashley and Stephanie?
No.
Ashley had breast cancer
way.
last year, and she actually attended Industry Dance Awards where we presented her check for $10,000 last year.
No way.
So that's why I was at their nationals promoting
Okay.
Dancers Against Cancer, because
Did
we're
you not
hoping
see me?
to.
I was there.
No, I didn't see you. This is why I was like hearing you talk about this, and I'm like, wait, I think we were at the same place.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But they're incredible over there. And like you said, I think there's a lot of dancers who maybe at the age of 13, 14 really start to get heavy
Dance team.
focus on that dance team and then moving into that collegiate level. So I think it's really important to showcase that. And it's like you can still be that studio competition convention kid and have that amazing foundation. And then you can then push yourself further and learn some pom.
100%. It was honestly such a great event, and their faculty that they always choose, not to toot my own horn. No, I'm just kidding. Is quite amazing, and I just really love everything that they do. And I've been watching them for years, and I've been wanting to go to WCE for so long. So to be able to be a teacher on there, because I didn't go to high school. I went to high school, let me just clarify. I just didn't go to school. I was homeschooled my whole life. So to be able to be a teacher on there and now collaborate with them is so awesome and really a dream come true. And I think what they do for dance team and collegiate, helping the dance teams rise to a collegiate level is really great.
Mm-hmm. And then I did want to touch on, just because I think it's so cool, that I remember at Hollywood Dance Experience this past year, you and Robert Greene having a moment. Yeah. But then for him to then come and teach at your intensive. So tell me a little bit about kind of you've looked up to this man for so many years and now he's working.
Oh, I almost pooped my pants the day he came. I was so stressed. I really wanted Robert Greene. He was my number one this year. And when we were discussing faculty, I was talking to Ethan about it, and I was like, we should really try to see if Robert can come. I doubt it. I doubt he's available. I was so sure that he was going to say no. Not because he's not an awesome human, but because he's so busy. And so I just shot him a DM, and I think when I sent him the DM, I just turned my phone away, and I was like, oh God, I really hope that he doesn't think I'm crazy. And when he responded, I couldn't believe it. And we honestly, all of our faculty was kind of in line, and we were just waiting on him. And it was kind of oh no, I hope he says yes. But also, what if he does say yes? Because that means I'm going to have to interact with him.
Right.
And I honestly, I don't really get fangirly, but with him, I totally do. I think he's so amazing. Everything he does, he's such a legend. Mm-hmm. And so he ended up being able to be available for us and come. And so that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a dream come true.
Yeah, it just goes to show you never know who is going to become who. And we tell dancers that all the time at competition, convention, be a good human because you never know who's going to be hiring for their intensive or who's going to be shooting a music video and looking for dancers. And it's such a small world, even though it feels so large. The dance world is so small. So I just love seeing those connections form.
Yeah. I never met him before Hollywood Dance Experience. It was 2023 was the first time I met Robert in person. And I knew that I wanted him involved in Fall 5. I just needed it to be the right time.
Right.
And I wanted us to have our stuff figured out before we brought such a legend into our intensive. So that way he was like, oh yeah, they're organized. Actually, I just wanted him to love what we put on, and I love him so much, so I just wanted it to be an amazing event for him, and also everyone. But I just am obsessed with him. I think he's so brilliant. I love everything he does. He was sitting in the waiting room, and Ethan was like, hey, Robert's here. And I was like, I can't go say hi. I was so flustered because I just taught class, and I wanted to actually be able to talk to him and everything else, and he had back-to-back classes, and I had just come from all my classes, and he just is such a fantastic human, so sweet, and everyone loved his class so much. But even in our little staff lounge, he was just so nice to everyone, and he's just a great human and a great example and a great role model to me and to so many. And so to have him at Fall 5 was just it was the best thing that possibly could have ever happened for season 3. I was so excited to have him.
Amazing.
I didn't get to take his class though, unfortunately, but
there's always
great.
Next year.
I know.
So you said season 3, so now we're moving on to season 4 next year. So obviously you've said you've learned so much. You both have really evolved this into something that you're proud of, and you're continuing to pursue different ways to, continue building and growing. So what is kind of your hopes and your dreams for what Fall 5 can continue to turn into?
I would love Fall 5 to be able to travel to different places. So hopefully having other studios in different states host us, maybe Boston, maybe New York, maybe Texas, we don't know yet. I would love for it to evolve that way, just because I know that it is such an amazing event, and so many of my students, because I teach so many places, always want to attend, but they can't because it's in Orange County and it's too far, Mm-hmm. So I would like to see it evolve in the sense I would like it to expand to different states. I think for the Orange County city, I would just love for us to keep having those people come back and have our reoccurring students and hear their feedback and learn from them. I would like it to be a little bit more of an easy breezy with the rooms and the speakers. There's always like little things that you want for everything to go well. Mm-hmm. So I think that like finding a space for us that we feel is perfect is really important. And I feel like we are like just about getting there. I think we've like switched our location every single year. Mm-hmm. So now like trying to set our roots into one place and one place only would be really nice. Mm-hmm. We don't want to expand to ballrooms. I think once it would get to a past an in-studio intensive, it almost loses the whole reason why we're doing it. Right. Because it's not supposed to be a room filled with 150 kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like or more.
Even though that senior room was packed, it was
packed.
Cool. It was cool to see them, and they were working so hard. I do want to talk about that one teacher that you had, Macy.
Macy, yeah.
You guys, this one of my favorite things to see is when a teacher comes out of their classroom and they're sweating more than their dancers. Yeah. Like, that they're putting in work, and I love when a teacher shows up for their dancers. Mm-hmm. And they don't just show up, teach the choreo, and dip. They're there working just as hard as those dancers.
Macy's a dancer first, so I mean, like, that's what you're gonna get from her class. She's insane. She literally came off of tour like the day before and came straight to Fall 5. I've been a huge fan of Macy for honestly forever. I've been wanting to take her class in LA for probably like a year or 2 years. Everything she does, I love. She just choreographs part of Tate's tour as well. Okay. She is a true dancer in industry. Like, everyone in the industry just loves her because she is so incredible in so many ways, not just in not just creatively, but just also as a human and also as a dancer too. I mean, to have all of those things is very rare, and she does. And her class was definitely one of my favorites over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And to sit and watch her, I was just in awe. I kind of feel the same way about Robert. Like the way I feel about Robert Graham is the way I feel about Macy, low-key. I love her. I think that she's incredible, and everything she's ever done or does, I just am like, I look up to her so much. And I think I see a lot of, like, creatively, I would draw a lot of inspiration from her in my own stuff. I just love her. I think she's incredible.
Love it.
Yeah.
So as far as next season, is there anything that you want dancers or parents that are watching to know about Fall 5? If you guys have any information on how to do early registration or anything like that.
Early bird is really great because you get that hefty discount, and who doesn't love a discount? I think next year we will try to announce our dates sooner. I think a lot of the times as dancers, you just do things a little bit later in life, and Ethan and I are so busy. So we're really trying to get that date out for our reoccurring students and families, so that way they can make sure that they can come. Because I know a lot of our students, we moved it like a month later this past year. Season 2 was in October. Season 3 was in November. So we're trying to like find a date that works for everyone and not switch it as much. I'm so sorry to all of our families, and announce it sooner so you guys are able to block off that date with your studios and everything else. So yeah.
Love it. And then lastly, where can they find you if they don't want to wait until Fall 5 to come and take class with you? Where can they find you and learn more about how to support you and all the things you do?
I teach weekly at Avanti Dance Company, which is in Costa Mesa. They're lovely. I teach Mondays and I teach Thursdays. If you want to come see me on tour, I am currently touring with Intrigue Dance Convention. I am not on every city. I'm on like very sporadic cities, but I hope to see you at one.
Love it. Well, thank you for joining us. We are always so appreciative of you collaborating with us and just seeing you evolve over the years from a dancer to a mentor to these dancers is just so cool to watch.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you so much for being here and letting us be a part of it. And we're excited to continue working with you and raising awareness and creating a better environment than we grew up in.
100%. I love DAC. You guys are my favorite. Best people to work with ever. And also I get to wear pink, which is the best part.
We love it. Well, thanks so much, and we'll definitely see you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.